And when my oldest daughter was born, I had a postpartum hemorrhage and almost died. I went through a 27-hour-long labor, expecting to come out with a brand new baby girl to take home to a fully arranged nursery that I'd spent months planning, but that wasn't the case. And I realized in my work that that wasn't the case for many women. And as I started to process the different emotions afterwards, and I sought help for post-traumatic stress disorder, I realized how little resources there were for women who suffered, in particular, birth trauma and PTSD. A year after I gave birth, I ended up having a miscarriage in public. Just 12 or 13 months later, right back into the same trauma before. And as I sought therapy, I went through a lot of ups and downs. The first therapist I saw was absolutely horrible. And I thought, man, I'm coming in for help every day, and I'm walking out every week, and I'm feeling worse than I did when I came in before. This is awful. So I stopped going, which is what so many people do. They just stop going. So I decided there has to be better out there for us, right? So I did more diligence, and I researched and found a therapist who specialized in birth trauma and maternal mental health. And 12 or 13 months later, I was very strong and feeling confident. But something else happened to me. I was researching for an article for Huffington Post, and it was in the research for that article that I actually realized I was a statistic. I had never felt so marginalized in my life until I gave birth. Seriously, I'm a 40-year-old black woman, and it wasn't until 8 years ago that I felt like, geez, to most people, I'm another statistic. Right after I gave birth, I'm just another statistic. How can I change this? What can I do? So, in thinking about the question, why am I here? It's very clear for me. Statistically speaking, I shouldn't be here. I almost died twice. I definitely shouldn't be here if you look at the statistics. So I feel that it is my responsibility to use my voice across all the genres in maternal health to represent women who've suffered a birth trauma, but in particular, let's face it, African American women who often don't have a voice in these exact conversations. These conversations take place over and over again without our voices in the room. And it's something that now that my work has moved a little bit more towards policy in terms of advocacy and running support groups and these things, I just want our voices in the room when these conversations take place so that we can help clinicians and politicians truly learn what the walk is really like for someone who has suffered something after birth, whether it's a mental or physical trauma. And sometimes they run hand in hand. A lot of times one is the result of the other, right? And so the reason why I'm here is to do exactly what the title of the conference is all about, bridging the chasm. Being with each other in the same space, sharing stories, being with another, really paying attention, active listening to what is happening to each and every one of us, no matter what sort of acronyms are behind our names. We're all human, we're all the same. All of our voices are important. And I'm very thankful to have met so many of you today. I hope to meet many more of you over the next 2 days. I think my 3 minutes is up. The Oscar music is going to start playing now. I've never had to tell my story in such a short time. But thanks again for the organizers to put this conference together. And I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you.